Hi guys, thank you for sitting down with us today and welcome to our focus group.
Right, so out of the 4 posters, which ones would interest you the most and why?
I really like the Halloween poster because I think the imagery itself is really iconic because you have the weapon of choice, which is the blade, which is really prominent on there, and that sort of gives a hint of mystery because you don't actually get to see the villain, but you see the weapon associated with it. So even in the film, once you see that weapon, you automatically think, oh, that's the killer there. And I like the way the image links to the word Halloween itself. You have the pumpkin, and that's Halloween.
I like the I Know What You Did Last Summer poster because the first thing that strikes you is the sort of off red, and that's an archetype of horror. You think of danger and blood and all of that, and how they're all looking at you, the director dress, it's as if they know what you did. So how they're looking at you, all the characters, I like that aspect.
I really like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre poster. I think the whole colour scheme, it's quite muted, and the yellow, it's kind of apocalyptic kind of style. Also the fact that it's kind of the silhouette of the killer and you can kind of see the weapon but you can't actually tell who it is. Also kind of the clouds make up a lot of the main image, and that's a form of pathetic fallacy, kind of. Yeah, it's just quite scary.
So which fonts do you pair and why? So we've got several fonts there for just UCC, and I wonder which one would you prefer and why?
I like the third one because I like how it looks like blood splatters on the background of it.
Yeah, I'll agree with Ellie on that one, but it looks it looks professional. It does look quite scary compared to, for example, the first one, which looks quite childish and quite tacky. But if you compare it to number 2 and number 4, they don't really look of its genre. It's quite modern and quite almost sci-fi in a sense, because it doesn't. When I look at that, it doesn't scream slasher to me. It makes you think of another genre. Number 3.
Yeah, I agree with Anthony and Ellie as well. I think the third one pretty much looks like slasher itself because slasher is associated with blood, so the way that it looks like blood's dripping and splashing.
Would you say the first one is sort of too splattery?
It looks a bit childish.
Childish,
Yeah, no, it's a bit basic.
Yeah.
Cartoony would be a word for
Right.
it.
It doesn't look realistic enough.
What tagline would you prefer for our poster? You have all you can kill is all you can eat, what he kills is what he eats, or he is what he eats.
I like He Is What He Eats because it's shorter and it's more like memorable. It's more like snappy.
I like the third one as well. He is what he eats, because there you have this sort of sense of symbolism, because if you're looking at him, he's human, so that kind of links in. So what does he eat? Is he a cannibal? And you kind of have that prompt for the magic.
Enigma.
Yeah. Also, I think the other 2 use the word kill in the actual tagline, which I think is a bit too on the nose. Whereas the third one is kind of, it's a sense of mystery, but it's still kind of like ominous.
So what different types of sounds do you want to hear in a film, trailer, and why? Not necessarily from the sounds we've listed, just in general. What do you like about the sound effects?
I definitely think the use of Foley sound is effective when used kind of in certain points. So the use of silence throughout, and then like short, sharp bits of Foley sound where it kind of shocks the audience.
I think the use of contrapuntal sound is more linked to supernatural films rather than slasher. I think with slasher you need more like
Screams.
Diegetic.
diegetic, like
Full
in your
on.
face sound.
Okay. Cheers, guys.
Yeah, so what would you want to be portrayed on the magazine front cover in relation to the film and why?
I think if you look at the Entertainment Weekly one, I think it's important to have like a full shot of the villain itself, because the character who's going to be most well known is villains, because if you look throughout every magazine that features horror movies, the villain is more iconic to be featured.
I would include some iconography from the film, or some traditional subgenre iconography. For example, you could put the weapon, maybe even just the weapon on the front cover, really to create lots of mystery. You could put some of the characters, even the villain, like the Entertainment Weekly one's done, just put the villain, like a close-up of the villain so your audience is fully aware of your subgenre and character for the film, but maybe not giving too much away at once, and little bits.
I think it's also important if you have a symbiosis throughout because you want it to look like it's in the same film. So like if you look at the Entertainment Weekly, Scream 1, that's the Ghostmaster face. You know that that's associated with Scream. So as long as you use him, it's going to be the same for
And that one's also minimal as well, not too much has been used on that one, it's kept simple.
I think it is important to include the weapon though, just so it's clear what the subgenre is.
So what camera shot or angle would you want to see on the front cover of the magazine and why? So if you look at those examples, what do you like and what would you sort of want to see?
I like the Empire one. I like how with the lighting you can only see half of his face, and because he's really close up, it's very intimidating.
Yeah, do we prefer the close-up shots, or do we prefer the sort of long shots
I
of
think
villains?
They're nice.
because if you look at his facial expressions, you can only see half of it, but it looks really sinister and it kind of puts you in like paranoia, like, well, what is he thinking?
Okay.
For the Fangora one, it's the villain looks very powerful now, it's probably because of the low angle that's been used, and from it being like at a distance, like a long shot, you see all his power and the weapon and all the costume as well, so you're very clear of the subgenre from just the camera angle.
I actually think the Optimal Fangoria one, the Friday the 13th, I actually think it's quite effective even though it's a long shot, because Fangoria is it's a fan-based magazine for like horror fans, and the whole iconography of the machete for the villain and stuff and the mask, it kind of shows the villain.
Going back to Empire as well, I also think the profile lighting is really useful and effective because it can show that he maybe has a split personality. So you see one side of the villain, and then there's maybe more to him that you don't know about.
Which weapon do you think is the best suited for our film trailer and why?
Well, for your main weapon, it's about a butcher, isn't it?
But yeah, sorry, bearing in mind our film is a slasher film about a butcher.
I'd say the cleaver top left, because it's a very big, powerful weapon. I mean, it does look harmless, but when used in your trailer, it would be very effective. And also, if you wanted to create more scenery, you could put the hooks around to create the image of a butcher's shop if you wanted, for example, and instead of, it's traditionally used for hanging meat bodies, for example, something like that.
I think the cleaver is also a good idea because again, the cleaver is really associated with butchers, and it's a lot more terrifying when you hear the sound of the cleaver. And I think that's really effective because if you go to a butcher, you see the cleaver, so it's more associated with that.
Like sharp sound they go on the table or something like that. That's nice.
So which costume idea do you find most appropriate to slasher genre and why? Obviously there's one up there that's a bit different to the other two, but just talk to me, why did you laugh? What made you laugh? Why is it so different to the others?
It's not scary, it's stupid. I like the one with the apron on though.
Yeah, the one with the apron.
But that does look very Halloween costumey.
But then the one in the suit with the black hair is really
That's scary.
It's really
like
off-putting,
that would scare me.
Because he's got the mask on, but the way he's dressed, it shows like he has maybe two different personalities.
The colour as well, the black, the ominous, but the one on the left, it looks
a bit comical.
The black t-shirt's nice, but it looks very Halloween, quite cartoony. It looks quite fake.
Also, I don't think the idea of like the black suit actually kind of goes with the whole butcher theme though, even though he does have the pig mask. I feel like it would make more sense to have the apron, just maybe less.
I think you can
So is it the amount of blood that he has on him that makes it sort of cartoony or Halloween costumey, as you were saying, or is it just the mask himself?
The mask makes it cartoony, maybe.
Because I think if you incorporate the apron into the black costume, it makes a bit more sense. So like you can say maybe once he takes off his apron, he's a completely different person. But when he wears his apron, he's another person. So we really wanted that split personality.
Okay.
Would you take any elements of the other costumes and combine them together to make it?
I would
sort of
completely rule out the top one. I'm not feeling that. But I do think I do like the suit idea, but obviously,
Yeah.
as Josie said, it doesn't really go with like a butcher.
Maybe an
It doesn't
So
apron.
have
maybe
to
that
be
can be
suit,
like.
So we like the idea. We like the idea of the long black hair,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and we like the
Because
idea of
obviously
the
you want him to be covered.
and we like the idea of the apron.
Yeah.
So a combination of the two of them.
You can do the black t-shirt as
You can do
well,
a black
that's
t-shirt,
alright.
yeah. Maybe a long sleeve black t-shirt, so like
But you
make
showed
it
that
more
on.
covered.
Yeah.
So if you make it more covered, you can
Powerful.
make it more macho.
Yeah, got meaty
Okay.
arms.
Really nice.
So our favourite name at the moment is the human carvery, but do you agree with this based on some of the other options?
Pigman sounds a bit funny, so
Yeah.
it doesn't
Yeah.
really seem like it would be.
And I do like the butcher
I
though,
do, yeah.
because it's more mysterious, and
I
I
think
think a butcher's like a regular job.
I quite like, you've written the butchered, I prefer butchered because
Yeah.
it's short, sharp, to the point, quite mysterious as well.
I think the thinking behind having both of them is the butcher makes the audience automatically think about the villain themselves, who's doing the killing. However, the butchered makes you think about the people that were being butchered, rather than just butchered could be the act of butchering something.
I also like the human carvery as well, because I think the way it sounds sounds like just about cannibalism.
Yeah, that's we wanted to incorporate that as well.
Yeah, yeah, that also works. That's
So, which of the following factors do you enjoy most in horror films and why? So, narrative, villain, setting, music, jump scares, and costume.
Or any other ones we have
Yeah.
included.
I think the villain, well, obviously the villain's quite a prominent thing in slasher movies, and I think the fact that you have such a kind of unique villain in that sense, I think it should definitely be included a lot in the trailer, because it's kind of like a focus point.
Narrative also has to be quite good because otherwise it can be scary and jump scares and all filled with a villain if it doesn't make sense. You wouldn't understand it or wouldn't like it. So narratives